Welcome back, everyone. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Emmy, and my husband is behind the camera. He's Paul, and this is our channel, Frugal Money Saver. We are here today to talk to you about 7 traits or characteristics of a frugal-minded person. These characteristics tend to be pretty dominant in a person who practices frugality. So I wanted to share them with you because if you are just starting on your frugal journey, these are some wonderful characteristics to cultivate. And if you are a seasoned frugalist, did we ever decide if frugalist is a word? But if you are a seasoned frugalist, then I bet you share so many of these characteristics with us. So let's get started. I thank you for being here. If you are new, consider hitting that subscribe button and becoming part of our family. And by all means, if you like these kind of videos, please give this a big thumbs up. So let's start with number 1. The first characteristic you will see in a lot of frugal people is perseverance. When people may come at us and not exactly agree in the choices we are making. What do I mean by that? Well, why are you living this way? You have the money, why are you not spending it? I had a comment the other day from a viewer who asked me, well, you're a senior citizen now. Why are you not just spending your money and living it up? And I thought to myself, oh goodness, no, that's not what we want to do. That's just the opposite. We don't want to leave debt behind us as our legacy, not at all. Nor do we want to be out on the street because we can't make our bills. So that YOLO attitude, we kind of have to persevere through. And we have to realize that even though people may not agree with us and we may get questions about why we are living this way, this is our conviction and we're happy with it. We also have to persevere when we go out of budget on some months. None of us are perfect. We are all in this together, trying our absolute best. And there are months that we go out of budget and you got to pull from A to go to B. We come right back and we persevere through it. And that's the important part. We don't give up and just say, the heck with it, let's blow it all, right? Number 2, we tend to be humble. Why are we humble? And I don't mean this as a pat on the back like we're humble people. Not at all. But we don't have a lot of the material things that the rest of the world has to boast upon. So when the rest of the world is showing off whatever they purchase, and we're going to the thrift store to buy our clothes, so we're not, out there saying, hey, look at me, I paid $1 for this blouse and, 25 cents for the pajama pants I'm wearing. The beauty of camera, you never know that I'm in pajama pants right on the bottom. But I had to share that with you. But it's the truth. We tend to be a bit more humble in our thinking. And again, this is not like we're better than anybody, not at all. But our thinking tends to be our worth is not based on the items and the possessions we own. We are grateful for everything we have, and we are humble because we have so much. We are humble because we are so thankful when we look around at all that we possess already. Number 3, frugal people tend to be creative people. We're always looking for ways to take an onion, a stalk of celery, and 3 pieces of cheese and make a gourmet meal out of it. We look at these items that other people would throw away and we think, how can we repurpose them? How can we reuse them? So we tend to be a bit more creative. We're always looking for ways to stretch our dollar. What can we do? Can we call up the cable company and bring our channels down to save some money? Can we eat 3 nights without meat to save some money? We see things that are antiqued or older, and we see them having beauty and worth and having a purpose rather than I've used this, now I will toss it. So we tend to be creative in every way that we can stretch our dollar. Number 4, we are content. We are not a restless people. What do I mean by that? We are not always looking for the next bigger and better purchase out there. We are content with living simply. That lifestyle is soothing to our soul. There is a peace and a calmness with having less items around. There is a clarity when you walk into a room and you're not bombarded with tons of options. You open your closet and there's 47 tops and 67 pair of pants. Well, what am I going to wear today? There is a contentment with having less. There is a comfort to a simply prepared meal. There is a comfort to curling up in a overstuffed chair with my blankie around me, sipping a cup of tea and reading Jane Eyre. We are content with the little things. We are not always striving to buy more. We're not always searching that elusive burst of happiness that we are going to get from some overpriced purchase. We are content with the simple, the minimal, but yet this contentment has such fullness to it. Number 5, we are misunderstood. People confuse being frugal with being cheap, and there could not be 2 different definitions of a word. We are not a cheap people. If anything, I think we tend to be a bit more generous. What we do have, we are so thankful for, and we're very willing to share. And we are humbled by what we have, honestly. We look around and we're so thankful. So I think that cheap is just being miserly, and I don't think frugal people are miserly at all. It's just that we are choosing what we want to spend our money on. We make the decision, not the rest of the world. We do. So we are misunderstood in that people think we have tons and tons of money, we just don't want to spend it. That's not true. We do spend it, but we spend it on what we want to spend it on. That's the difference. We don't spend it to keep up with everyone else in the world. We don't make false purchases just to make ourselves feel good. So that is a total misconception about the frugal lifestyle. Number 6 is dedication. We are dedicated to this lifestyle. We have chosen it. We enjoy it. We find peace and contentment in it. And we are dedicated to it. Like I said, even though we may veer off budget, you can bet we're going to be right back on it again. Part of our dedication is repurposing and reusing. And we stick with it and we go forward. Number 7, we are passionate about our frugal lifestyle. How many times do I tell you I'm in a supermarket and I get a bargain and it's like I want to go around and tell everybody, look what I got, look what I did. You know, they're like, yeah, so, and I'm like, what? This is the best. So every time we score a deal, we get that thrift store find, we cut our water bill, we cut our electric bill, we are passionate, we get excited, we want to go even further. How much more can we save? Where else can we cut back? And it's contagious. You want to share it with other people. You want to tell everyone about this kind of lifestyle because to us, it works. This is what we truly believe. It works. There's less waste on the planet. Our landfills aren't filling up with our stuff that we're taking and tossing. It was so funny the other day. We went to drop some stuff off at Goodwill and they said they could not take any more donations. Couldn't do it. Think about that. How much stuff does the American population have that the thrift stores are turning people away? They're turning people away. And if you are just starting out on this frugal journey, then these are things that you're going to start to notice about yourself. You will. It's inevitable. And if you are a seasoned frugal living enthusiast, then you are right here with us, demonstrating these living traits. Again, this is not to give ourselves a pat on the back. This is to just encourage you in your frugal journey that you're not alone. You're not alone. I thought I would share with you a lo mein recipe, which is just as delicious as takeout. To validate what I was saying about how we want to take pretty much a carcass and we're going to make a meal out of this. So we had a roast chicken the other night. Paul and I ate from it. And then last night my son came over and we three had hot gravy with chicken again. So now this is what's left. There is still meat on this. And then I am going to take the bones and they will go in a bag in the freezer to make soup at a later date. So let's see how much meat we can actually get off of this for our lo mein. This is one of the most economical meals because honestly, you're using pantry stuff, a lot of it. We were able to get a nice full cup of chicken meat, significant amount of meat off that little chicken. I have 4 ounces of dried spaghetti. I do not have lo mein noodles, but you sub what you have, these will be just as good. So 4 ounces of noodles. I've got a whole bag I'm going to put in. We pay 99 cents when these go on sale. Broccoli, sugar snap peas, carrots, and water chestnuts. That's all that's in there. No sauce, no nothing. A quarter of an onion. So that's going to make up the main meal. Now our sauce is going to be a little bit of peanut butter, a little bit of tamari, some hot pepper, half a cup of chicken broth, some cornstarch for thickening, a little red pepper to taste, and a garlic clove. We're going to need a little bit of brown sugar in the sauce as well. Literally, that is it. Super simple, and now let's put it all together. Let's begin with the sauce. I did put the water on to boil for the pasta. So that's done. Now I'm going to make the sauce. It's a half a cup of chicken stock. I use low sodium, you know that. The original recipe will be down below, but again, you know I tweak. So it called for a tablespoon of soy sauce. I use tamari, but I am only going to use a half a tablespoon. It is just so salty, and I think a half is more than sufficient. And I'm also going to add a little hot pepper to taste. This is just red chili pepper, and I added some flakes in there. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of brown sugar. We're going to put in 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. That'll thicken this sauce nicely when we add it to the hot pan. One ingredient that I like to add that is not in the original recipe is peanut butter. I think that peanut butter gives this sauce such an amazing taste. You don't have to do it this way, but we love it. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon in of peanut butter. Now I'm just going to mix this together. That peanut butter is a little thick, so I'm just going to give it a good whisking until that's all incorporated. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of just vegetable oil to the pan. And I am also going to add a splash of sesame oil. We keep this in the house because Paul loves Chinese food and he likes to just season his rice if we have rice. I'm going to add about a half of a tablespoon of this. It is very strong. Now we're just going to heat this oil up. So to that hot oil, the oil has heated. I have it over medium. I'm going to take about a quarter of an onion and put that in, and I am going to saute this just till it gets soft. The onion has been cooking for a little while, so now I'm going to add the clove of garlic. I don't like the garlic to cook too long. I think I've said to you before, if you overcook garlic, it turns very bitter. So we're just going to add that now after the onion has cooked a little bit. And we'll just let that cook down just a little bit more. To the onion and garlic, I'm going to add just a bag of frozen veggies, and I'm just going to saute them. And this is the convenience of using a bag of frozen vegetables in a situation like this. There's such a medley here. The water chestnuts, the sugar snap peas, broccoli, Carrots, delicious, with the onion and garlic, what a flavor. And they will be crisp, tender. And make sure that they are cooked through and hot. So the vegetables have cooked nicely. Look at all that chicken we got. One of the ingredients that it called for was fresh ginger. I do not have fresh ginger, but I do have ground ginger. So I'm literally going to put 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground ginger in that sauce as well. Now I've got our sauce. We're gonna add this right to here. Oh my goodness, does this look great? How does that smell, Paul?
That's awesome.
It smells like a Chinese restaurant. And this is gonna thicken now. And then we are going to serve it with our cooked pasta. And what a meal. So this sauteed, keep stirring it, get all that wonderful flavor. And now I'm gonna add our 4 ounces of cooked noodles to this. And I'm just gonna mix this all around. I'm going to get my tongs because you want this to be totally coated and mixed in. Craving for some Chinese food? This is a heck of a lot less sodium, a lot less money, and you probably have 90% of these ingredients in your home already, if not all of them. And now we have some beautiful chicken lo mein that probably cost us less than $1 per person for this delicious meal. And believe me, there will be enough for lunch tomorrow. So here we go. Let's plate it up. This looks amazing. I can't wait to taste it. Paul and I are ready for dinner, and we will let you know what we think. So we wish you bon appetit.